Madam Speaker, the President of the United States.
Multiple continents.
You guys know what this represents?
All the people that have gone out there against the mainstream media and said, you're going to call us racist, you're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs, you are.
Hey, thank you for coming and hanging out with us at Patriot Party News. We appreciate all the support we've had over this many years that we've done this, and we are trying our best to bring the best news possible. And today I want it to be a day of of knowing that there's some really crazy and rough things going on, but that a lot of good people are working extremely hard in front of the camera, behind the camera, to work on this and fight the battle against the globalist agenda that they were trying to put on us as far as the 2030 agenda. They'll never stop trying to do this. It brings me back to that Davos thing where Trump was talking about, well, first off, he walked in there and he pretty much told them, y'all suck and you are not much. They were visibly nervous, just like a lot of them have been when he gets up there and tells them, you know what, I don't need you. I don't want you. I'm making not only the world, not only the United States, but the world great again. And that's what that dude is doing. There might be some things that maybe some people don't agree with. There might be some things that might be taking longer than somebody wants, but that's just the way it goes. This is for our lives, for our livelihood, and especially for our children's livelihood. But Klaus Schwab got up there at that Davos thing or whatever before it, and he was trying to keep the team together. And, he was talking about his list of global challenges that he had, and that's extreme weather fragments knocking people out of whack, misinformation and disinformation, increasing divisions within societies. And all this is stuff that each one of these people are trying to do to you, to us, to all of us every single day. So if you're having trouble with fifth generation warfare and not understanding it, and you're aggravated and this and that, maybe even in your everyday life, join the club with a lot of other people. This is not easy to go through. They wanted that division in the societies within countries, within states, within counties, not only here, but all over the world. And Trump went in there and told them, to hell with you, buzzards got to eat same as worms, pretty much. Now, saying that, we've also got this dude named Marco Rubio, who's probably going to go down as the best Secretary of State, I guess, ever. He is going in there doing some really good negotiating, making progress, and he looks like he's got the good graces of Trump, because of the job he's doing. Results are happening. Results are coming in. Think about the fentanyl that they are cutting out. Think about, I know that a lot of people think it's not going good enough or fast enough, all the deportations, but people are deporting themselves so that they can come back in. Now, everybody's not seeing that. Everybody's not quite there. Or there's some CNN and disinformation out there, causing you to think that nothing like that is happening, but it is. And we have proof of it. He got rid of the catch and release stuff. Right first thing, right. Right there in front of everybody. And then you even had Tom Homan. Think about how good he's doing. He shut that border down, in my opinion. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know. I'm always up for some constructive criticism. Pretty much declared a national border emergency on day one. Now, on day one, he also got rid of about between 5,000 and 10,000 SES members, senior executive services. And I hear it's more now. That is some really, really good news. But there's pages and pages of good things that Trump has done. Well, right here, I've got them all out here, and there's 15 pages of it. Just all these things that are going on. just tons, signed a joint, just taking one, signed a joint statement of intent with Canada and Finland to increase icebreaker production and counteract Russian influence in the Arctic. It just goes on and on what good things he's doing. It might not be going fast enough for everybody, but that's just the way it is. Everybody toughen up and hang in there. This deal right here where they just had the right to try. And they're talking about these psychedelic therapies that are going on. Now, the guy that does this in Mexico, I talked to his brother. His brother, both of them, I went to high school with them, the Clays. And I think the brother has a different last name. I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, the Ibogaine. So I'm working on getting maybe Tim to come on, which is the brother of the guy that owns the place. And I never did meet the brother. I think he was out of school by the time I got there. I was a freshman. He had probably just gotten out, or maybe a year before that. But I'm doing my best to get that out. But having the right to try is extremely important because it's going to continue to happen. Because to me, that's a validation of holistic medicine, plant-based medicine, plant-based healing situations where we are taking things that the Lord put in our yards. And I know I've been saying that. That's the way I've said it. Man, the Lord put stuff in your yard to heal you. Well, maybe that's close, to tell you the truth. He put it in a lot of people's yards. We might have to go to some other place, somebody else's yard to get it. But that is a direct hit, in my opinion, on Big Pharma. The right to try. So when you look at the Big Pharma and the nasty oil-based medicines that they have been putting on us forever, we are fighting this. In fact, I don't know if everybody else is seeing it, but I'm seeing tons of different battles go on at the same time. Tons of different battles go on at the same time. And wow, it is neat to watch. It is absolutely wonderful to watch. I've been praying for this time for a long time. I was in Leah's Nuggets show the other day, listen to it. And I was, somebody, I don't know who said it might have been Leah or somebody else, but said impacts and personal significance on the right to try announcements are big. And a therapist happened to be in there and said, was discussing the enormous economic potential, forecasting a $28 to $30 billion economic boost by 2030, as revenue is diverted from Big Pharma. So when I hear that, money diverted from Big Pharma. Well, we just had money diverted from Lloyd's of London. We just had all kinds of money diverted from all kinds of places. You're seeing significant things happen daily. She said that she sees this as part of Trump's broader strategy across different verticals and predicts an incredible boom for mental health and the treatment of other conditions like cancer through psychedelic assistance and therapy, which, we're fighting cancer on a daily basis everywhere we are. You can take plumbers and secretaries and floor men, there's formulas. Not that hard. Just you got to watch out about a couple things, You got to watch out about that test that they do, that first one that gets that blood out of there. You got to watch out about certain things that I don't know what I can say on here without all these things going up that I'm not on this and that anymore. So I better watch out what I say. But and with her professional experience, having secretly guided clients through microdosing protocols, different things like that. It has been very successful alleviating especially anxiety and depression. Now, when you talk about relieving anxiety and depression or just about anything, one of the biggest things that has saved my life and made me feel so much better is the Wave Watch. I just can't explain how much this thing right here has done for me. I keep it on inflammation all the time. I don't have any anxiety. I ain't depressed about nothing. I'm happy, in fact. But as far as inflammation and not having cartilage back there and 3 and 4 and bulging 5, I don't know if that's what's going on anymore. And I don't care because I don't hurt because of this dude right here. Anyways, I really like it. I don't even know what we've got one of those, what do you call it? Those, where you promote it, but I don't know what it is, but anyways, but this is linked, in my opinion, to new things coming out, new healing types of, I'm going to say it, types of medbed technologies. Now, I've never seen these medbed technologies that everybody's waiting on, but to me, you use what you've got. You use what you've got. Oh, thanks, Mary. That's what it is if anybody's interested in them. But anyways, best thing I ever bought. Best thing I ever bought. And we actually bought 70 of them and gave them away to some people that needed them. And that was good stuff. But anyways, there are many scenarios where, well, we know John Baxter, we know Coach Scott. They are all in this kind of technology, and good things are happening on the tail end of it. We're seeing miracles every day. I'm not going to beat that to death, but what I will say is health, all those things, keeping the family together, no stress, eating right as good as you can. That's where it's at. Rock and roll with that. And if you get to study a little bit in the meantime, don't worry about it. If you are doing all that and you don't have time to, come over and hang out with us at Talk Time. We're ready to answer your questions and pray over you and love on you and try to keep you up to date with a high frequency so that you can fight this battle of getting involved as much as you can, to whatever extent you can, or guiding others. You know, we need people of all kinds here at PPN. Well, you know, if you can't get out of bed, we need you. We need your experiences. If you have a health issue, we need you, because you can help us understand what other people are going through. All right, because I don't know what I don't know, and sometimes I need some direction, and you might be the one to give us direction. So we'd love it if you came over and hung out with us at join.patriotshoot.com. If you do, check out the state groups, fiddle around over there in Patriot Shoot, where you can get your information out. That's what I needed. And then come holler at me at Talk Time, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. I will say that I'm hearing that Bayer is suing Pfizer and biotech, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson, alleging that the mRNA technology in COVID vaccines infringes on a 1984 Monsanto patent for genetically modified crops. So these freaking idiots are telling on themselves all day, every day. They're taking money because why? Because they're messed up, because they're on the run and they're in trouble. And that's what we want them to be. And there are cases where, man, I wish it would happen yesterday. I wish I could see that first arrest. What I will say is that I just talked to Mitch Vexler. I'd had him on the On Tap show, and he's going to be in Vegas at the Fraud Fighter Summit that we're going to have. And he was telling about all the Bondgate issues. And now he has gotten involved with the elections, and it's the same freaking computers and applications being used in both. And they know that it goes down to a local level. This is why we're saying, hey, get involved. You don't have to go in there saying, oh, I told you so. And just getting involved, whether it's for your children, with committees and school things, whether it's whatever, we just need involvement. That's what the people that I talk to, that's what they say. We just need people involved. And it is what it is. Now, coming up pretty soon, I think it's the 26th of May. That is when we've got a Jubilee, if I'm not mistaken. That's the Jubilee time. So there's good things coming up. That's also when the end of the Revolutionary War was. That is, there was mention of Trump has mentioned a new tariff system for April 20th. What is that today? We'll see how that goes. But there is big things. Now, I am understanding that CIGI, the Council of Inspector Generals on Efficiency and I can't remember the other, but they have been disbanded. That is huge. Absolutely huge. So we've got SES going down. We've got CIGI going down. Mitch Wexler just told us that he has already put away in jail 3 or 4 cops. There are other people that are involved in different things that are going down behind the scenes. Matt didn't even know it. Matt's my co-host if you don't watch our show. Colonel Matt Meck, Marine, 21 years. That's how I will get to go to Gitmo and see all that stuff going, because he is Juan's chief of staff, and he's the one that they've picked to go and be our representative for us and PPN and my coalition and all that good stuff. So when I'm saying these things, I'm not saying we're talking to people like Trump's people, because we have 6 people from our coalition that are in his administration, 7 if Peter Tickton gets in. So good things are happening, and we're getting good information. And people, I don't even care what other people say, because I feel very comfortable with where I'm getting my information. We're anticipating a financial reset. So be looking out. Everyone by now should be getting things in order. And all I'm looking at is being diversified or doing whatever the heck you want to. I think everybody has had the ability to move some things around if they have a little savings here, a little this here, and you're going to do what you're going to do, and that's great. Hopefully you have done what you want to do for you, and I wouldn't let anybody else tell me what to do, because anybody on here is just saying, this is what I'm doing, this is my opinion, and you do what it is. We're no financial advice or anything like that. This is you going out and doing your research. That's all that's happening here. You're choosing out there who to listen to. You might be listening to 20 people. I don't know. And it doesn't matter, because you get to choose, and it's good. I do love silver and gold. I've been trying to stack it for about 8 or 10 years now, and I'm very, very happy with where it is. I'm not concerned about what it does tomorrow. Like, I'm not concerned what XRP does tomorrow. What I'm looking at is it being integrated with the SWIFT system and all the banks. And it's going to be big, in my opinion. I've been wrong before, but right now, you couldn't change my mind for nothing. And don't care what anybody else says. I've made my decision. I'm comfortable with my decision. Ain't worried about what nobody else says. I get goosebumps when I talk about it. That means, in my opinion, the Lord's telling me something. If I'm wrong sometime, then I'm going to be wrong, and I'll be the one to lose money. Heck with it. Money ain't the biggest thing in the world, but I tell you what, your relationship with the Lord is probably pretty good. And if you don't have one, maybe you ought to consider, if you want to, having a good relationship with the Lord. If you have had one, if you've been really working on bringing people to the Lord, you're fixing to have a heyday within the next few months. People are going to be coming to the Lord. When they find out, when the masses of people find out how these criminals that they call their president and they think they voted for them, or somebody did anyways, how they got to the top of the food chain, and how these criminals succeeded in politics and in business, and us watching them right in front of our face do these satanic, crazy things to get up in business, bringing their friends and family along, up with them to control every facet of our life, even though we know that they are just merely puppets. Puppets telling puppets what to do. That's all it's been. That's all these fools are. Now, when you want to know who the puppet masters are, and the puppet masters of the puppet masters, and then it goes on up, well, then you follow SES, SIGI, ambassadors to other countries. They're not doing messages back and forth from the U.S. president to the City of London. They're taking a message from the City of London, or the Committee of 300, or the Club of Rome, or the Trilaterals, or the Bilderbergs, and bringing that message through that ambassador and telling the president what he's going to do. That's what's been going on. It's done through ambassadors. It's done through operations of spooks, the CIA, MI5, MI6. Comey, Comey, Brennan, Bolton, Clapper, they've all got seats at that table at the top of that pyramid. They do. That they really do. I've got in my notes which seats. That means the Bushes, the Cheneys, Comey, Clapper. Biden's ain't got a seat nowhere. They ain't got a seat anywhere. They run a dust mop like me doing floors, you know. They're nothing. They're just little freaking coward thugs. They're the thugs. And they've been the thugs forever. They low class up in here. But for this all to work for them, they need war. They need civil war in every country. And we've been watching that happen for a long time. We've been watching it right in front of our face. You have seen it. You might not have seen it, thought you have seen it, but you have. All these people out in the streets. And if you've been here long enough, you know that Trump, is going to make it the easiest on us that he could. He's going to make it easy as he could, and that's what he's done. That's exactly what he's done, and I hope that we're taking advantage of that, because we've got some really good inside information. We all have great inside information, like we get mad about the Pelosi's having. If you've gone and gotten silver, if you've been in this movement and you bought even just a little bit of silver, and that stuff was at between $15, and most of us bought it between $15 and $40, $36. I think it was set around there for a long time. If you bought that and that sucker went to 130, and if you sold any of it, or and it's back down to whatever it is now, 80 or whatever, you're doing good. You're doing good. You just doubled your money. You can't put money in any kind of fund and make that. That's freaking out of this world, you know. Even if it takes 2 years to do it, who cares? But it gives us time to just be out there working, you know. during this whole time we've been taxed to death, and now we are seeing really good things happen. There's going to be a first one to do everything. Like right now, Missouri is doing something with some kind of tax. There's always going to be a first state that does something. The things that we're watching, the things that we're looking at, that we think are going to happen. Somebody's got to be first, you know. Somebody is going to be out there on the forefront making this thing happen. Now, a lot of people say, oh my goodness, this is a movie, this is whatever. Isn't it neat that everybody gets to think whatever they want to? You know, it's not something I say. I believe that there's still a big fight going on behind the scenes. I'm watching the fight. Feel like I'm in the fight. I'm watching it happen in real time. There's still a lot of really bad people out there, but we're making very good headway, and they're still fighting hard. There's a lot of pedophiles out there, a lot of them, a lot of children that are being abused and being abducted all over the world. And that's why a lot of us say that we got into this. You know, that's, you know, so if I don't know what I don't know. I've never been abducted. I don't want to be abducted. I ain't got time to be abducted. But wow, think of that child that doesn't get to see their mother and father maybe ever again, and they're scared, and the bad things start happening to them, and they're like, what happened to my life? What happened to my mother's hug? You know, that's that's freaking ridiculous. Just think about that. A child. Think of a child somewhere, you know, not your child, but another child. And think about the child just all of a sudden gone. You know, it's freaking crazy. Think if your dog was just gone. This happened to these children. And then think if it was your child. Dang. The heck. It's freaking ridiculous. How can that happen in the United States? I tell you why it can happen. Because a lot of people were too asleep to understand what was freaking going on. And when people told people that it was going on, they just said, oh, that's a conspiracy theorist. A lot of people may be watching this show right now. And you know what? It just is what it is. Our opponents were really good. They're really good. They have fought hard, but they used the same plan that their family used, their ancestors used. And now we are taking them out. All right. So next time, now anybody gets to react however they want to. You know, being mad, being sad, being a raving lunatic. They get to act like they want to. But next time you start freaking bitching and freaking moaning about the freaking crazy stuff that's going on and blaming Trump for everything, think about them kids. That's what I think you ought to do. You got Tucker and all this. Now, all that might be part of the plan. Might be part of the plan for Candace to do what she's doing, and Alex Jones, you know, to do whatever he's doing. Well, the hell with that. But if it's the plan, it's the plan. I don't know the plan. My plan is I'm going to love the Lord, and I'm going to introduce folks to the Lord, and I'm going to try to act right. And I'm probably not going to be all that great at it, but I'm going to do the best I can, and hopefully I get better at it as I freaking go. Because I'm going to keep fighting. And what I ain't going to do is I ain't going to bitch about stuff and cry and moan and tell, you know, I ain't done near the work that so many people out there have done. So I don't even think I'm in a place to where I can complain about something. You don't freaking complain down anyways, you know? God bless. You can't get anywhere if you just instead of crying, maybe we ought to use that time to love the Lord, or make a phone call and give $2.50 to somebody that's doing a good job trying to find some children. I don't know. Maybe I can go cut some grass and give that money to, somebody trying to save children. The only thing is we got to find the right ones. That's a hard thing, is finding the ones that aren't lying, saying, oh, I'm saving children, and really they ain't doing squat. So we're looking for them always. MAGA is bigger than even Trump. MAGA, our team. I want MAGA to rock and roll. I want it to do good. Like I want my county to do good. I want to be proud of it. If there's some trash, then why am I not picking it up? If there's somebody in my community that needs something that I can get to or help some way, then why am I not doing it? Why should I say, why don't somebody else do that? I don't know. Because if half of us just did that, the world would be a better place. Then maybe somebody would see us doing that and it'd be a better place, because we'd be duplicating ourselves and we'd be having some act right, And act right is probably what I need a lot. Now, I say these things, and there's probably I know a lot of people doing that, and I'm so proud of you. So, and I don't mean this towards anybody. When I'm saying things like this, I'm talking to myself, just so everybody knows. I don't expect anything out of anyone, just so everybody knows. It's not my place to tell you what to do. That's why I say, if you think that you want to or something, or, get in how you choose. Now, if me saying those things all the time gets on your nerves, I would suggest not watching me, because I'm not going to quit. And I'm doing that because there might be one person new that hears me say it that one time. And to me, it's worth it. If somebody stops watching what I'm doing, I don't care. I'm not here to have a bunch of freaking people watching the show. I didn't ever want to do this show in the first place, but I like it. I like doing it. And if somebody's in the room has got something better to say than me, then they ought to be doing it. I'll sit over and work the computer. I don't freaking care. Because this ain't about me, it's about us. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's not about two people over here. It's about us. And what's best for the team? What's best for the team is a high frequency, understanding our ascension and being closer to the Lord. That's what matters right now. So if this any information, if it says, you say, that makes sense, and it enlightens you, then use that information to go on and move on and do better and act right, do better than I'm doing, because I'm a nut. I know we all could pick a topic that we can all do something better at. And I'm going to get off that soapbox too. But I ain't telling nobody to do nothing. You do what you want to, and cool. Rock and roll, because I ain't your boss. We're all watching the Law of War manual, I think. We got some cool things coming up. Like I said, on the 26th. This is fixing to be a really, end of this month and next month are going to be big. And I don't have any dates. I don't have any times. I don't know that I'll ever have any dates. I'm learning just like you are. Nobody that I talk to has got any dates. Unless Trump has said something like, we're going to do this on the 26th or whatever. We're all guessing. So there's no reason to ask me when this is going to happen. In fact, there's no reason to ask anybody when. I mean, you can, but if they tell you, I promise you, They don't know. I promise. Well, I can't say that. There might be somebody out there, but I don't know them. But what I can do is say that the faith in this movement, my faith in the Lord, and that I'm on the right path, is telling me that we are making America great again. And these things are going to happen. And I am seeing it with my eyes. Things that I thought were going to happen, not happening exactly like I thought they would happen, but we're in gear. We're making progress. The bonds are coming out. The fraud is coming out. The money laundering's coming out. And what does that mean? Heads up stock market at some time. Heads up black swan event incoming. Heads up. Mainstream media continuing to double down and tell you how bad everything is and how Trump's bad. And that's all they've been doing on CNN for freaking my whole life. You might as well watch The View. Who is it? CNN, MSNBC, all that stuff. Nah, I don't watch it. But maybe some people do. I don't know. I don't know where everybody gets their information. I know where I get mine. And I trust it. And I'm not trying to make it bigger than it is. I'm just trying to tell the freaking what I think are the facts. And you get to choose if you think that I'm somewhere close to right. And then you watch this crazy show and then we go on about our business. And then when you hear these things, you say, oh, well, hopefully I'm getting ready for what's coming. I'm learning the things I need to know, whether it's about the financial system, whether it's about big pharma, whatever it is. Maybe you're learning it so that the family members and friends that you have that don't have a clue of what's going on are informed when they start having freaking heart attacks. Because between the stuff they've put in our bodies and our food and everything, and then the news they're going to learn here pretty soon, there's going to be people tripping out. Everybody watch your freaking blood pressure. Everybody start eating beets and cayenne pepper. You don't have to. When I say that, you don't have to. You just might need to know what your blood pressure is. When we talk about all of the things that are going on, I hope you can feel the energy that's coming. I hope you can feel what's happening. Don't let things get you down. Whistleblower, I'm going to tell you right now, 100%. I am hearing from I can tell you, I can look you in the freaking eyes and say, there are whistleblowers coming from everywhere. If anybody tells you they're not, they are lying and they do not know. I promise. And I would not say that. I'll only say on here what I would say to my mother right to her face. And I would never lie to my mama. And that's just the way it is. Whistleblowers are everywhere and they're getting good information and they're trying hard and they're getting beat up. And America First folks are getting beat up and they're trying hard to be elected and get into it. And they got Democrats and Republicans fighting them. And it's called the freaking Uniparty. And then you got some Democrats and Republicans that are fighting them and they don't know why they're fighting them. It's just the people above them that they cater to and down the road they want to be in their position. They're just going along with what they're saying. There's a lot of people, if you've got friends or family that are in politics, there is a possibility they ain't got a clue about what's going on. There is a few of these people that are out there and they got the plan. They are fighting hard. And then they got some people under them that know a little bit about what's going on. But there are so many, when you find out, or if you tell people that are in politics, or it goes on to a lot of other subjects too. But just know that people that you think, oh my goodness, they're this, they might not be bad. All right. That's like saying that every, what do you call them? Freemason or Masons are bad, It's just not true. It's just not true, in my opinion. So if you had a granddaddy or a daddy or an uncle and they were Freemasons, all that stuff, especially if they were under the 33rd degree, then, you know, yeah, there's a good possibility they don't know nothing about all the cray-cray that was going on. And then again, they could. I don't know. I don't know. But just know there's a chance. And don't let anybody tell you that all of them are bad. Or you can, because I ain't the boss. I'm expecting really, 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 really cool, crazy things to start going on right in front of our eyes right now. We're listening to John Solomon. We're listening to Susan Kokenda. We're listening to these people. And I choose them because Susan, that's somebody that we talked to. I had her on my show, on Tap Show. She was good to talk to. I felt like I kept up with her. You know, I study her. And she's right. And she understands what's going on behind the scenes and what's been going on for a long time. She understands who the Committee of 300 is. She understands the sects off of the Committee of 300. She understands the Club of Rome, the Trilaterals, the Bilderbergs, the Romanovs, the freaking Israel. You know, they understand what's going on there. So that's who I try to listen to, talk to sometimes. And they're on the right page. They're on the right page. There are people out there that know what's going on. You know, we're fighting, we're all together fighting the enemy. We got some great people. We've got Mitch Wexler. If you haven't heard his name, check him out. Mitch Wexler. All right. And I just had his, I got it right here. His website and stuff. I don't know. Not sure if I'm going to put that on there. But hey, if you, somebody put it in Patriot Shoot if you can, and somebody put it, we talk about it. Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Mandy. I appreciate that. That right there. This is about Bondgate. All right. This is about the bonds. If you want to know about that, go there. It'll tell you everything you need to know. And he can help you in your area. All right. Now, if you want to understand about votes and get involved on a big level or a small level, then you go to Mark Cook at Hand Count Roadshow. All right. And what he does is he travels around the United States and he teaches you what went on in the elections and how they were stolen and what you can do. And he will support you and point you in the right direction, especially if you have anything already to do with the elections, or if you're new to it and just want to get involved. The way you would do it is you would set up a party. Set up a party. And you go to Hand Count Roadshow and you see what his path is, where he is. He was in South Carolina today, maybe yesterday, I don't know. But I get people hooked up with him all the time. Mandy does too. Mandy can always help you with that if you look Mandy up. But you're going to have to come to talk time. Sorry. But anyways, if you want to reach out to us somehow, we'd be glad to get you there. It doesn't cost you anything. He does it for free. Patrick Byrne and Juan and Matt, and I help him, and you know, a lot of people are out there helping. Other people donate to him and stuff. So he's been doing it for a long time, and he's doing a great job. And his truck breaks down all the time, and he's a character, and his trailer, something happens to it every 4 days, but he's doing a great job. But anyways, there's things you can do. And the biggest thing you can do is love yourself, trust yourself, and love your neighbor, and get the home cooking right, you know, love on your families. A lot of people fixing to trip out. But they're going to be coming to you saying, where's my friendly neighborhood conspiracy theorist? And in my opinion, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all my information together the best I can, hoping or thinking that maybe somebody's going to come ask me some stuff, and I don't want to lose them, when they come. So in my notes, I got notes out to Yin Yang, and I'm working at it hard. And I want to be able to give them the right information. I want to be able to heal them. I want to be able to send them to Coach Scott's and to John Baxter's and tell them what things to use, kind of like we do in Talk Time, because the thing is, when you get sick, sometimes it's kind of hard to say, okay, what do I need to do? Because you're feeling bad and maybe whatever, like, hey, what should I be doing? And you're saying, and then you come in, what we do, we come in Talk Time and we'll say, yeah, I got this going on. And 9 people are saying, hey, what about this? This is my mama's recipe. This is my recipe, whatever. And we tell each other, and the people that are sick say, oh, why didn't I do that? Well, it's because it was for you and not for somebody else. And you might have been feeling a little bad. You wasn't thinking straight or something. So being in a like-minded group is a wonderful thing to do, I think. Your church, your community, doesn't have to be Patriot Shoot or whatever, but it can. And we love on each other. We do. We care about each other, and we're trying. We're not being mean to each other, and we're listening to each other. And we're happy when good things happen to each other. And we're not happy, or, we'll cry with you or pray with you or whatever. That's, I'm not just talking about Talk Time or Patriot Shoot. Anywhere you go, make that group the best you can. And do your best to stay on a high frequency. Do your best to bring something positive to the group. Be the one that makes it happen, Do the best you can. Try not to get everybody down. And if you do that, and somebody does get down, well, then help lift them back up or cry with them. Let them get it out of their system. It just is what it is. Think about being in a, Robin said, be the light. Yeah, do that. Be the light. Be the best at it you can, You ain't going to be perfect. I tell you, I guarantee you, I've had a bad day often, but I ain't putting it on other folks. I ain't trying to. I'm going to just try to have a little act right. And maybe you can too. And if you do, good. If you don't, I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. A lot of good things we can be doing. A lot of good information coming out. I expect arrests any day. We've got Comey. We've got man, there's a bunch of people fixing to get in trouble. But I don't have a date on it. But I'm going to keep saying it. And it just is what it is. And I just did a long freaking show earlier. And I got notes all over the place because I got to read this stuff now. I can't keep up with all of it. Yeah, that Joe dude that Oathkeeper Bill just put in the chats. Oh, by the way, Florida, I've been saying for about 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is, and I hadn't heard it many other places, but, we've had 2 grand juries going on in Florida, at least one in Pennsylvania, at least one in New York, at least one in Washington, and we got everything we need. It's done. We're good. Cash said he got everything he needs. Is he going to be the one in there? Is he a placeholder? Oh, by the way, that the one going on in Florida, that was right there where Pam Bondi happened to be, because Peter Santilli told us right to our faces that he went and dropped that information off in Florida with Pam Bondi. Now, she just walked out the door because maybe her job is done and she's going to go be a mama. And we got a headhunter, hopefully, fixing to come in a few different places and rock things out. I don't know when, but I think that's how it's going to play out. And I think everything is on a schedule, not a schedule of what day it's going to happen, but a schedule of it's event driven. And I don't know. That's just where I am. Some people might not be exactly there, but whatever. You know, it's what are you going to do? Are you going to just forget everything you know and say, "Oh, I'm mad at somebody. I'm not dealing with this no more"? Maybe, or you might just make a spectacle of yourself or something. I don't know what you're going to do, but I ain't doing that. And I want to find this freaking thing. Where was it? I'll tell you what, I'll just send it back to myself again. It was a deal, or I can talk about it. This weekend, I had my dad's 81st birthday. So, Daddy, if you're watching, merry birthday to you. And I'm so happy that you're still with us. And you are working hard at your weight and everything you're doing. And you seem happy because 10 years ago and 5 years ago, we didn't think we was going to have you very much longer. And that's a beautiful thing, you know. I've had so many friends say, you know, if you still got your parents, you know, love on them, you know, love on them. And I think that's good advice, you know, because down the road, if you're gone or they're gone first, whatever it may be, I'd hate to be the one that just didn't pay attention to them or something. I don't know. Yeah, that would suck. I got to text this to myself or email it to myself. This right here is where I think a lot of people have seen this, but to anybody that hasn't, it's kind of a trip. There was a Q post, and the Q post is 1170. Q post 1170. And see if I can make this thing work. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try. But in that, it was on 4/17/2018. And share screen. And it says boom, 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 boom with exclamation points. You know, so I just wanted anybody that hasn't watched the kept up with the Q stuff. That's what a Q pose looks like. That little thing it says boom, 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 boom. And it was on 4/17/2018. And then, well, yeah, it didn't work. But anyways, I believe that this where he's talking right here, it is where he says on 4/17/2026, he says boom, boom, boom. And I was like, oh man, he didn't say the last boom. And then he said something, he goes, boom. If you get a chance, check that out. It if you don't believe in Q or don't think that Q is part of Trump, I'm here to say that it is. And it's done good for us, and it's worked for us. You know, there's a lot of things that have worked for us that other people look at and say, "Well, you're freaking crazy. That ain't freaking happening." Well, yeah, it is. It's working for me. If I think something's working for me and it's not working for you, that doesn't mean it's not working for me still. And I get to have my own opinion, and you get to have yours. I'm just telling you, you ought to check that stuff out because it's on like Neck Bones and Donkey Kong and all that good stuff. Hey, I appreciate you listening. I've been on here for about 3 hours now and worked a little bit today and did a little paperwork. So I'm about done for the evening. We'd love for you to come hang out with us at join.patriotshoot.com. It's free right now to start up for a month, and we'd love to see you. If you do, come see me in talk time. Don't come in there acting a fool, though. We're not playing that. We're going to come on in there right, and we'll keep it right, and we'll act right. Although we might mess up every once in a while. Appreciate you joining us. Have a good evening. Take it easy, and bye.